my children, period, if they wanted to see their sibling, if they wanted to see their bonus sibling, I didn't stand in the way of it. Because my child is telling me, I want to see what this relationship is. I want to see where this takes me. I want to be a part of my brother or my sister's life. That's what I want. That's what I need. That's their birthright. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatima, Coach Fatima, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, I want to address a particular subject that was brought to my attention a few times in our journey through polygyny for the past 12 years. So different times, certain women specifically have asked me about the co-wife bond that my children may have, period, with my co-wife, or either the bond that a co-wife's children, just generally, should they make a connection with their bonus babies? Now, this video is titled, Is Your Hatred for Your Co-Wife Standing in the Way of the Love You Have for Your Children? And what does that mean? Now, the specific topic that sisters have brought up to me, or people that aren't even Muslim have brought up to me, is it okay for my child to bond with my co-wife? Now, I would say, of course, yes, it is. However, if we want to get to the short answer, yes, it is, but there are some specific stipulations, possibly in your own journey. If there is some outrage between 2 co-wives, 3 or 4 co-wives, Islam allows up to 4 co-wives for specificity. I'm a practicing Muslim, so I want to be very specific about that ruling in our culture. Sometimes things have gotten volatile with co-wives. Sometimes some co-wives do not like their bonus children for the mere fact that they are not their mother, for the mere fact that they have been fathered by either their husband or maybe, are, special, beautiful blessing from another relationship. And I've seen this firsthand. I've been in rooms where it was very tense among co-wives because bonus children were there, because one co-wife doesn't want the other co-wife's children around her children. And if they're siblings, this is very hurtful and can be very destructive for children of polygyny, especially if they want a relationship with each other. Now, if they're grown-ups and they don't want it and you can't make them. Now, is it a best practice for best results? If they're getting along, if they love each other, and if they're scared and they don't know if they can reach out to each other, if they want to be active siblings and not just be siblings just through biology, but actually carry that lifestyle of having a sibling or being able to have that closeness or that love, or be able to show love and goodness to one another, or to just feel that feeling of fulfillment in the area of being siblings, then I love the fact that children are resilient, although they may need therapy, they may need help, they may need extra hugs, love, kisses, support, listening ears, active parenting on purpose. They need all those different things. Healthy communication among the adults. There's so many things that children need, but what I love about children, in them being resilient, is I've seen children who don't know who the parents are of one another play in a sandbox together, who might not even have a full grasp of the English language yet, and they play together. Nonverbal communication, or baby talk, or they're communicating and they're children. Just want to give you all a heads up on my group coaching. I'm so excited about it. So many of you have asked about it. And if you're on a wait list, make sure that you sign up to be on my wait list for group coaching by visiting coachfatima.com to register for that. It's so exciting. I have so many different things to share with you all. If you want to level up and meet the champion within, please join and become a part of the wait list. I'll see you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. And I never pulled my child away from another child that wanted to play with them and they were being kind. You know, now if the child wasn't being kind, that's another discussion that I needed to have with the parent. You know, honey, you need to go get your 3-year-old, sweetie, because they're throwing sand, or you might, honey, they might be hurting each other. Let's go over here and talk to the babies. Whatever the case may be, I would troubleshoot it, not try to blow it up into something that it wasn't. But when it comes to the topic of children seeing one another, and I love my child, and I'm looking at my child, and I love my child, and my child is telling me, I want to meet my brother, I want to see my brother, or if our husband has said, you know, I'm going to take the children so they can play with each other, or they're going to come over here, they're going to go over there. You know, we've talked about this as adults. Whatever it has been for my 9-year-old son, or my daughters, or my children, period, if they wanted to see their sibling, if they wanted to see their bonus sibling, I didn't stand in the way of it. Because my child is telling me, I want to see what this relationship is. I want to see where this takes me. I want to be a part of my brother or my sister's life. That's what I want. That's what I need. That's their birthright. So I don't want to be in the business of robbing them of it. Now, I spoke about violence earlier in this video. I spoke about co-wives not getting along. I understand when co-wives need to create some distance from each other and they're not getting along, or they don't talk, or they're not cordial. I don't know you, you don't know me. I don't want my child around you because you've exhibited this behavior toward me. Now, I do understand that. I do get that. But let's think about what part of that has to do with your child. Now, if this person is threatening harm to your child, you're not supposed to let them around that person. And that's a conversation that you and your husband and your co-wife, somebody needs to have a very serious conversation if there's threats being made to children between co-wives. If co-wives are putting their hands on each other's children. If you have an agreement that that's what you do, then that's what you do. My co-wife and I don't practice that. We don't have the kind of children that we need to necessarily go there with. We do discipline them, but we make sure we know and we communicate with one another what's going on with our children, the children that we've had through biology. And what I love about moms is that they've spent so much time, and shout out to the fathers as well, with the child, that they've become somewhat of an expert on the child. Now, the father does too, but it's in a different way in which the mother does. So I want to pay respect to that. So if there's an instance where there's some miscommunication among our children, for example, or there's a disciplinary action that needs to be taken, we talk to our husband, we talk to each other, and we handle that. So if there's a situation with my beautiful bonus babies in my home, for example, I make sure mom and dad know. That's Coach Nadir, Coach Nyla. Make sure they know what's going on. And if I don't know what's going on, my older children let them know what's going on. My daughters are grown and they know how to talk, and I won't be their mouthpiece for them. So they let it be known. And then we just come together and discuss things, and then we let the parents decide what the disciplinary action is going to be. And then I just make sure I move after I've said what I needed to say, and let parents know what's going on with the babies, what's going on with our children, and let them deal with it accordingly, and vice versa from my co-wife to myself to Coach Nadir. And respectfully so, we have those conversations. And if anything further needs to happen, I don't need to be involved in that. They're really great at updating me. I'm great at updating them. Coach Nadir and I are good at updating Coach Nyla. It's very cohesive. And we try to make it as easy as we can. Now, co-wives and children and that bond, which is really what this video is about. If I see that my co-wife is hugging my children, is saying I love you to my children, is educating them, telling a joke, giving them food, whatever the case may be, whatever extra love that my children embrace or they want in their life or they're comfortable with, and it is not forced upon them, it's gentle parenting. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And some would say, Coach Fatima, well, now, I wouldn't be all for it if I was you. Well, that's great. You not me. And you don't know her like I know her and my children. Everybody is different. Everybody has to have these conversations and do these things on their own time. But I don't want to love my children so much that my grasp is so tight on them that I can't allow my co-wife to show them love. So even in my moments where I wasn't talking and where I wasn't communicating, I didn't feel like it, I didn't want to, I said, if my children have benefited from the love that she showed them, then round of applause to her, and I thank her for it. I've been always grateful for that because my kids know who their mother is. They know how much I love them. And I don't feel threatened by her love for them. I just don't, because it's goodness and it's benefit to these children when they're shown extra love by a sincere heart. And I will not be the one to stand in the way of it. I just see in their eyes that it's okay, and them being okay is all right enough for me. It's good enough for me. It's great enough for me. That is a win to me. When they can have more and more people and more family to love them and show love to them and make polygyny as easy mentally and physically and in the heart and spiritually as it can be for a child, then I am all for that practice. So my dislike, or a co-wife, I should specifically say, because I don't dislike my co-wife, but the dislike for your co-wife, see to it, or try to make a balance where that dislike doesn't outweigh the love you have for your children or the love that they may show her. Because even if she has her children and they show love to you, I've never rejected a child's affection. They want to give me a hug, cool. They don't, I don't force hugs. I don't do forced affection with children. It's under their comfort zone. So if my bonus baby, if she gave me a hug, then I embraced her, right? But if she's not comfortable, I wasn't going to run up and go, give me a hug, girl, and be screaming all off in her ear. It's when she's comfortable, right? And I don't want to be the one to block any affection that my children may receive from my co-wife, even in the days prior to us becoming closer, when they were rougher days. So, for example, my son came in and said, they don't call her Coach now. They said, Nala gave me a hug today and she gave me this. Alhamdulillah, I'm glad. Do you like whatever it is? I'm glad she gave that to you. That's so nice, right? Not, I don't know what she gave you that for. I don't know what's wrong with her. She trying to be better than me. She trying to be a better mom than me. Because then you dumping all that in the child's lap. Keep that up here. And if you do feel that way, it ain't nothing but a short question. When you ask, I'm not sure because I don't know you that well yet, but what are your intentions upon my child? I just don't know. So I want to ask, respectfully ask. Not I don't know what you're trying to do with it, because you're setting the tone. You're setting the tone. Because even if somebody has evil intentions, even if somebody has an ulterior motive, it'll be exposed. And don't have to worry. Anything that ever had to be exposed in my life, I wasn't the one exposing it. It exposed itself. So that's work that we don't have to deal in. And like I said, we always say this at OPR, you don't have to do anything. But best practices for best results is if your child shows a genuine interest in your co-wife and your co-wife shows a genuine interest in your child. Now, we don't know anybody's intention. We can't see through people. We don't know. But body language matters, tonality matters, how their pattern of behavior matters with your children. Those things matter. And sometimes co-wives don't know what to say to your child. You know, sometimes there needs to be an icebreaker, an introduction, you know, and that's okay. And if the husband makes the introduction, he makes the introduction. If you make the introduction, you make the introduction. If she makes the introduction, she makes the introduction. But as adults, whatever we got going on in our heads for each other and the dislike that we have for each other should not spill over into our children. Let them genuinely meet someone, meet your co-wife for who she is for them. And maybe you're not that. Look, we have a different relationship with our husbands than we have our co-wife, than we have with our children, than we have with our parents, than we have with our siblings. We don't talk to everybody the same. We don't always sit in the same circles. We're different people sometimes for different people. I don't sit up with my mom or not sit up with my grandmother and go, girl, child, no, she didn't. Shut your mouth. You better shut up. Like, don't talk like that. Now, I might do that with my co-wife, though. I might do that with my friends I've been known to. But I just want to say, from someone who didn't say much in the beginning, if anything at all, but very cordial, I know what it's like to not know someone and still let your heart be open for the love that they may want to show your child and for the love that your child may want to show them. And I'm so glad I didn't stand in the way of it, because now, even though I'm stepping back a little bit so that they can have their relationship, I still feel as though I helped help something instead of hurt something that's already fragile. So if my daughters that are adults, love her, hug her, I would look at them sideways if we left from my co-wife's house and they didn't hug her. Like, but because we're at a certain point. We're at that point. So their pattern is hug all of us. We all hug each other. We all give Salaam and we all leave, or we go, or we come, or we stay, or whatever the case may be. That's our pattern of behavior now. So if they were to break that, I would say, something's going on here. We need to figure out what's going on here. But my daughters are adults and they can say that. My co-wife is an adult. She can say that. Everybody has a voice and their voices matter. So I just wanted to say, look, you can get to that point. You might need time. It ain't going to happen overnight. I get it. It didn't happen overnight for me. It took years. Okay, but I'm glad we're where we are now. So if your children want to show genuine interest in your co-wife, if your children are interested in their siblings, you know, there was a saying, if the family is a little goofed up, it's because the adults messed it up, not the children. That's a saying, so y'all don't throw it on me. I'm just sharing it with you. But yes, let's make sure that we create these healthy relationships, listen to our children, see what they want to do. Let's see what they're comfortable with. If they're not comfortable yet, it's okay to share that. That doesn't mean that's forever, okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with a little GLC, but before I do, make sure you're following us and you hit the notification bell, and make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, most importantly. And down in the comments, we're going to put poly children matter and the number 2. All right, that's long, but it's memorable. So with that being said, once again, I'm Coach Fatima. For those of you that are new, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I will see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day.
Assalamu
Assalamu alaikum.
alaikum.
Peace.
Peace.